So yesterday, for the first time in my life, I did a DEXA scan. All right, now, I've been losing weight for a couple of weeks now. Like I explained in my previous video, like I've been very overweight. I've lost weight. I put on a bit of weight. Now I'm back to losing that weight. And my goal for my body fat percentage is 10%, like I said in my previous video. Now, I started at 120 a couple of weeks ago, maybe about a month ago. I decided, you know what, instead of checking every day, checking my weight on scales, because it's not very accurate, as we all know, it's important to know the body fat percentage rather than weight, because you lose weight, you're losing fat and you're losing muscle. I don't want to lose much muscle. I want to keep the muscle that I have, but I want to burn fat. Anyway, long story short, I went to do my DEXA scan, all right, and check this out. All right, so obviously, you do a scan. It tells you exactly, like to the last detail, like where all the fat is on your body. And I know the numbers are reversed on the camera, but like my body fat percentage is 28.8. Like that blew my mind, honestly. I've always, like when I first lost weight, my first, big chunk of weight that I lost, I used to use scales that told me I was like 19% body fat. Obviously, I'm heavier than I was before when I was measuring it then, but even that was so inaccurate, and it kind of blew my mind. It makes sense as well. Like, a $30 or $80 scale is not as accurate as a proper big machine that actually scans to the last, whatever whatever scale they use. Like, it's crazy. And it just opened my eyes to so much. It's so important to get these readings professionally done by with a proper machine. And apparently that's their standard. They use in all medical things like bone density. This is something that doctors refer their patients to a DEXA scan. And it basically tells you everything: your body fat percentage, your body. It even measures your weight, which blew my mind. Like, how does an X-ray machine scan you? Scale, how does it check your weight? It does. I'm 110 kilos. My body fat percent is 28.8. Something that the guy told me who was doing the scan, he was like, I'm very surprised your base metabolic rate is 2,100 calories, which he said is very, very good for you. Like, if you're trying to burn fat, that is very, very good. Now, originally, what I was doing was I was on a calorie deficit. I was on 1,500 calories. For the past couple of weeks, I've lost about 10 kilos. Obviously, a lot of that would have been muscle, not half of it, but a bit less than half would have probably been muscle mass. But he said basically, because your base rate is 2,100 and I go to the gym every morning, 7 days a week. I do weightlifting 6 days a week and 1 day a week cardio. Today was my cardio day. Today's Sunday. Plus I work every day, 6 days, sometimes 7 days a week. I'm at work, and my work is carpentry at the moment. So like, I'm very physical all day, up and down ladders and stairs, and he estimated that my maintenance calories are 3,000. So doing 1,500 calories is such a small amount of calories that you actually lose a lot of muscle. So he's like, yeah, look, just stick to what you're doing. It's actually a good, he said that what I'm doing is right. Intermittent fasting, calorie deficit, obviously, gym every day, work, like these things are very important. Keep that up. The only changes I need to make is just add a bit more calories, because I don't want to lose muscle. I want to maintain the muscle. Another thing about muscle is that he said my lean mass to height squared, so kilograms per meter squared, is 23, which apparently puts me at, like, I think he said over 85% of men my age. So basically what that means, it's like the body mass index, the BMI, but it's different. It's the lean mass. So how much muscle I have for my height is almost like in the top 80. He said it's in the top 85%. So I have more muscle mass for my height than 85% of males, which is great, which is a good motivation, because I have been training very hard for a long time, and I've always been at the gym, and I'm always working so hard. Anyway, the point of this video is that Another thing, sorry, is visceral fat. You know, like for me to look at myself and say, you know, I'm 28% body fat. Like I know I've got a bit of a gar, got a bit of love handles, but overall, generally, like I'm not very fat. I don't have big amounts of fat. Obviously, you know, I got here, you know, I got a bit up here, you know, but it doesn't matter. I think a big part of it as well is the visceral fat. And he was telling me, where was it? Fat mass index. I don't know. He was telling me, he was showing me that the visceral fat that I have is very bad. Like it is quite a bit. And again, I think that's because I was 150 kilos at one point. And when I was 150 kilos, like I was eating a lot of junk food, and I was drinking a lot of soft drinks, and you know, like it was bad. And those types of foods, they actually build a lot of visceral fat. Now, if you don't know what visceral fat is, basically it's fat that's stored around your organs. So you have normal fat, like, you know, belly fat and arm fat and all that. That's stored in between your muscle and on the outside of your muscle as well. But then you got visceral fat, which is stored basically like a layer of fat is stored around like your liver, your kidneys, and your organs, which is very, very, very bad. Like he was telling me that some people that are, say, very lean, like they got six-pack abs and everything, they look like someone that has 10% body fat, but they could be 13% just because of the visceral fat that's on their body, that's inside their body, which is crazy. And but it makes sense. Like if you're someone who drinks, he told me, if you drink a lot of alcohol, or if you drink a lot of soft drinks as well, fast food, all these greasy foods, like they build a lot of visceral fat around your organs. And that's another good thing to learn. Like that's why. And look, like it wasn't cheap. It was 120 bucks, like to do this scan. $120. I'll get a second scan after that. So I paid for two. I paid 60 bucks each, basically. But the amount of knowledge that this gave me, like it was just blew my mind. Blew my mind. It gave me a benchmark. Okay. Now I know I'm at 28% body fat. What's my goal? 10%. Okay. I've already booked in my second appointment for 3 months from now. So basically, what he told me was continue what you're doing right now. It's good what you're doing. Increase the calories a little bit. Don't stick to 1500. Go to about 2000. A little bit of carbs. Add in some carbs. I'm on no carbs right now. No carbs at all. I'm just eating meat and vegetables basically, and a bit of fruit. He said add some carbs, not a lot, just a little bit. You know, have a baked potato or not avocado. That's fat. Have things, but complex carbs, not simple carbs. Don't go have like hot chips or, you know, bread or something. Just have like some complex carbs, which is very helpful, like bananas or, you know, potatoes, corn, anything like that. And yeah, honestly, this is something, like I was saying, it really opens your eyes, because a lot of the things that I thought I knew about myself was just bro science, you know, like on the internet, or, you know, do this and do that. And, you know, they have those photos, bro, I swear to God, they have those photos on the internet, like circling around the internet. They'll have like a chart, you know, this, you know, have like each percentage of body fat, and then a photo of that guy. Bro, I thought, just the way I look in the mirror, like I thought I was like 22%. You know, just by the way I look. And it blew my mind. I was going in there, I'm like, you know what, I've lost some weight, I'm happy, blah, blah, blah. I thought, you know what, I'm going to be like 21%, 22% body fat. So all I need to lose is 11% body fat. So basically around 10 kilos of fat. Bro, that blew my mind. I'm 28.8%. So, yeah. And I think stop looking at bro science, stop listening to bro science on the internet. Just go to a professional, get a body scan, because it tells you everything that you need to know. Everything. It even tells you your metabolic rate, which blew my mind. It even tells you your weight down to the T, bro. Like it tells you every single thing you need to know about, you know, your weight loss journey, your fat loss journey. And yeah, I have 74.5 kilos of lean muscle, which apparently is very high, which is, I'm happy about that. I've got 31.7 kilos of fat, which is high as well. So I have very good amounts of muscle, but also a lot of fat, you know. So another thing he was saying was like my body, like my legs are very lean. My arms were very lean. Like I have big arms and they are very lean. There was just a little bit of fat like up here and under here as well. just a little bit, but the rest of it, as you can tell, is lean, cuz, you know what I mean? Yeah, even looking at the charts, like, I think even up here was mostly lean. My head, I do have something here, so you can tell like it gets a bit lighter colored, but yeah, a lot of it, unfortunately, if you can tell, just so if you do this scan, you can know. You see here how it's like, not on the side, it's going inside. Yeah, that's the visceral fat going in coating my organs, which is not good. So I think in general, like, this was a very big eye-opener. And it also motivated me quite a bit to keep going, to push even harder. Like, I got so much work to do, man. He even like, you know, you do a DEXA scan, he explains, you know, your body composition, but you're also doing it with the professional, and then gives you advice and like a plan of what you want to do. Now, for me to lose fat, to burn fat, because I don't want to I don't want to lose muscle. If I want to do this really quick and drop to 10% body fat, okay, I can just do very low calorie diet, just running all the time, losing weight. I'm going to lose fat and I'm going to lose muscle, and I don't want to do that. I want to keep the muscle mass that I have, because I'm very lean. I'm not very lean. I've got a lot of lean muscle in my body, okay? But I want to maintain that, but I want to burn all the fat. And I want to hit 10%, like I said, that's my goal. It's going to take a couple of years, but I'm all in, bro. I at this point, bro, I'm literally all in. I'm pumping it. All right, he explained to me that in order to burn fat, this is why am I making this video, by the way. First of all, I'm benchmarking my progress. This is where I'm at. This is how I start. This is the first scan I've ever done. I'm explaining everything about my body. Okay, so that in the future, I can look back and say, well, you know, like, look at the progress I've made. And whoever's watching can hold me accountable. They see these results of my scan, they see me, how I look now and what I'm saying, and they can compare it to me when I'm in 6 months. Okay. Now, to lose fat and to maintain the muscle, basically, he explained to me, like, so you get 220 minus your age, okay, that gives me 196 because I'm 24 years old. That's the 60 to 75% of that 196. So 190, I'm talking about heart rate. 196 heart rate, 60 to 75% in that range of that heart rate, you're burning fat and you're not burning carbs. All right, so he said to burn fat effectively, doing cardio, do any cardio, doesn't matter what you're doing. Even if you're at work is cardio if you're maintaining that rate of 60 to 75%. Now, if you're my age, if you're 24, 21, 22, 20, whatever, 23, 26, 27, aim for about a heart rate of about 120 to 145. That range, okay, that range will make you burn fat. It will burn fat off your body. So you go to the treadmill, okay, you walk, you're not running, because when you're running, you're much higher than that. For me, I'm up to like 170, 180, which is very high. And that's burning carbs. I don't want to burn carbs. I want to keep the carbs for the muscle, but I want to burn the fat that's stored in my body. Okay. So go on the treadmill, all right. Go on 6 kilometers. This is what I did this morning to maintain 138. I was maintaining 138 beats per minute. That was my heart rate. To maintain that, I had to go 6.5 kilometers an hour on the treadmill with an incline of about 4. So incline and fast walk for about 45 minutes, and I was maintaining 138 heart rate. So yeah, I think that's what I'm going to maintain. You also said increase your cardio and decrease a bit of weightlifting. So he said continue 6 days a week of weightlifting, but before every session, do about 10 minutes of this cardio. When I'm at work, always try to maintain a high heart rate to 120 to 145, so that whatever it is I'm doing at work, just pick up the pace, get it, you know, work a bit faster, you know, up and down more. Just increase your heart rate. Obviously, it's hard to keep that on for like, you know, 8 hours straight, but do your best, because anything in that range of heart rate will increase your fat loss. Which is, yeah, that's my goal. But yeah, thanks.